This is Jablam Hockey with your hosts, Peter Bojarinoff and Paul Swinbeck. Welcome to Jablam Hockey, folks. I'm your host, Peter Bojarinoff. You can find me on Twitter at Russia98, and I'm with
Paul Zwambag. You can find me at Zwambag, Z-W-A-M-B-A-G. How's it going, everybody? Peter, what's up?
I am tired.
Why?
I'm tired because I've been staying up
What'd you do?
watching hockey every day and freaking drinking almost every day, watching hockey.
Well, good thing tonight's a night off.
That's another thing. That's another issue.
Oh, jeez,
Why
here we
isn't
go.
there hockey on Saturday night? I hate this. There should be hockey on tonight, 100%. Why are they postponing these games, Paul?
So would you rather Pittsburgh-Tampa play tonight rather than Friday? Give an extra day off?
Yes, I actually would rather have that. It just feels awkward and weird having a Saturday night without hockey. I'm lost. I'm totally lost. I'm sleep deprived, hockey deprived, lost.
Well, it gives us time to podcast, so...
I think I'm going to be lost during this podcast too, Paul. I don't know. I don't know what to say to it. But let's get into the episode. I think we have, in this episode, we have playoff series roundup. We're going to be reviewing round 2, the series. We're going to be previewing the third round. Obviously, one game has already been played yesterday, Pittsburgh versus Tampa Bay. And then we're going to finish off with giving you our MVP picks per those teams that are in the third round, and Jablam Junior Hockey Playoff update. All right, first, trending now. Did you see the announcer for Comcast Sportsnet, Michael Jenkins?
No, I did not.
So basically, much like myself and a lot of other people, we had, obviously, Capitals going all the way, going to win it. And obviously, I'm pretty sure that he's doing the Comcast Sportsnet from the Washington area, Washington, D.C. area. And he was so upset because he thought his team was going to win, and he's pretty much like a fan. So on air, he told people to just give up on your dreams, and he chugged the whole beer on air.
Oh, jeez.
It's crazy. I'm proud of him for doing something like that. It's hilarious. I love it. I've started following him on Twitter now. Michael Jenkins. Good job, buddy. Good on you. I would probably be in the same boat, or I have been, for my team's losing.
You've chugged a lot of beers then.
Yeah, I sure have on those bad nights, because my team is totally out of it, Paul. My team is totally out of it. I had Washington, Anaheim, and basically my third team was the Florida Panthers, and they're all out. My bracket is busted. I've been good at picking the series, other than those 3 teams, basically. It's killing me. But you're doing pretty well, eh, Paul?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I still got the Penguins in it, so that's a big key one since I got them winning the Cup. Sharks I had going far, but I thought Anaheim was going to be a whole lot better than what they were, so...
But somehow you still picked some big Sharks. You had, I think, only one Anaheim guy, right? And you had a couple Sharks.
Yeah, in the playoff pool, yeah, that's right. And another playoff pool I'm in, third right now. I'm the only one with Penguins left, so there's a guy with Penguins, there's a guy with Blues, and there's a guy with, I think, Sharks and Lightning, so we're all doing pretty good. It'll be interesting.
Can't believe I put so much faith in Stamkos being out, Tampa Bay not going far, when I actually thought that they were going to go far.
And now he's going to come. Now he's going to come back this series. So.
And he might come back.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we got? Did you see the bet that the Dallas Stars and the Blues made? I believe it was the VPs. So the Stars VP, Sean Green, is basically shit out of luck, since he lost the bet that his team was going to beat the Blues. So he went to the Dallas Zoo and started shoveling the poop while wearing a Blues jersey.
Huh.
I think that's kind of odd, though. Like, he's wearing the Blues jersey while messing around in poop.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a bad omen, in my opinion? I don't know. It just seems awkward.
Yeah.
You didn't want shit poop on your jersey.
This is true. And, like, all the photos are going to be of a guy in a Blues shirt
Yeah.
shoveling poop. Yeah, that doesn't look good on the team.
Doesn't look good at all. I don't know. Oh, well. The cool thing is, I don't know if you saw the video that St. Louis Blues made, trying to get more fans from Canada.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I really liked the video. I watched it. It was really cool. But you know what I think? I think they actually have quite a bit of Canadian fans already. They're an easy team to root for, in my opinion, especially because they've been beat up on the Hawks so often, and everybody always thought, oh, they're a really good team, but they keep on losing to the Hawks and maybe the Kings in the first round and stuff. I've been a fan of the Blues since the beginning of this core era because I like the two-way system that these guys play. They just never had a Tarasenko guy type player and guys clutch enough to keep on scoring big goals, but now they do.
Yeah, and they got the goaltending to back it up. Elliott's playing on fire.
So, that's cool. Did you like the video?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool that Game 1 they're going to play the Canadian anthem. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But I think it was kind of a ploy for the NHL Tarasenko to be on the EA Sports cover.
Is that... I didn't really notice that in the video, though. But
No, the hashtag on the tweet, and then they got like thousands of retweets, which it helps Tarasenko's vote, which San Jose is also doing the same thing with their Twitter feed, just bombarding everybody with hilarious Pavelski things.
It's crazy because I think a lot of people, especially the media, thought McDavid was going to win this vote in a landslide.
Yeah.
But I guess the playoff pushers by the Blues and San Jose Sharks really helped their teams and with the voting on their side.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the Americans probably are voting a whole lot more on EA Sports stuff.
Yeah.
So to get Pavelski,
I think whoever
Captain
wins
America.
this series should win the cover since it's the finals of them too.
That'd be solid.
That'd be cool.
That'd be solid.
That makes better sense. But all right, good luck to those two guys too as well in the EA Sports. I don't want to win that though. Isn't there like a curse?
There is a curse.
It's a pretty bad curse.
Yep.
Pretty bad. Even Kane was on it last. It was supposed to be on it, right? So, all right. And your IIHF update. Oh, what did you see Kuznetsov's goal?
I did. Ridiculous.
That jackass! I picked him in the pool. Why wasn't he doing that? He didn't do anything in the playoffs. I think he had measly, 2 points, maybe 1 goal? I don't know. Nothing. He was invisible all playoffs.
Yeah, he went cold in the playoffs, and then he goes back home and lights it up.
And then scores a fantastic goal. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Flies by the defense, shoots it, gets his own rebound, and taps it right by the goaltender. It looked amazing. But as well, on the other side, on the flip side, ugly ones, was Thomas Greiss letting in like a 170-foot goal.
Yeah, that was brutal. He deserves that goal.
That was nasty. All they did was shoot it down the ice. It might have deflected off a defenseman, but that was near center ice. They shot it from their own zone. And all he wanted to do was stop the puck, and he angled his stick ever so slightly, then it went off his stick and into the net. That was terrible.
Yeah.
I think that could even be worse than the Mason goal.
Yeah, because he didn't even need to touch the puck.
Yeah.
He could have just let it bounce in behind the net.
It was so slow, and it wasn't even going to go in the net.
Yeah.
Well, at least his team won, so it's not as big as an impact as the goal on Mason. So, and I'm really proud of this. Hungary won.
Yeah,
the
that's
fans
cool to
are
see.
great. Do you see every time they play their games, even if the team doesn't win, their fans are going nuts. They're going bananas in the crowd for them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see. They all load on one end of the ice,
Yeah.
where they have the goalie on their end twice, and they just are cheering like crazy. Wait, you're watching Worlds?
A little bit here.
See?
And there.
Told you.
You know why? It's because I'm still up, Paul. I'm still up at like
5
9
a.m., 5 a.m., 9 a.m. Jeez.
So I'm watching these games at 9 a.m.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, and I see some Austin Matthews. He looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's not looking too bad.
Looking pretty good.
Patrick Laine's, I think, doubled them in points, but
It's kind of awkward. Like, Team Canada is still super stacked, though, if you look at it.
oh yeah.
Like, the best player on Team USA is, Austin Matthews, Nick Foligno, Larkin?
Yeah, they have a lot of
Maybe.
young college kids.
Yeah, whereas our fourth line on Team Canada is, I don't know, Taylor Hall? Like,
Yeah,
It's a ridiculous lineup. These guys are all, in my opinion, all All-Stars on Team Canada. The whole line.
And this is a big thing because a lot of the guys on the team, I think all of the guys on the team haven't made World Cup Team Canada. So they're really pushing for a spot. Like Corey Perry wasn't named, so he's definitely wanting to be on that team.
Yeah, he really wants it after an awful playoff for him. He's done pretty well for Team Canada.
Yeah, and Ryan Ellis is joining up to the team.
Them
so
now, yes, and they're all young. Perry is, and then I think there's what's his name for the Rangers?
Brassard,
and then the rest are all like 23 and younger.
Yeah, so they could even be trying to get on that North America team for World Cup.
Yeah, that too. Go Morgan Riley. All right, let's get into the show. Playoff series roundup. Let's review the second round. First off, Islanders versus Tampa Bay. I think we both called it, Paul. We both said that Tampa Bay would win in 5, and that's exactly what happened, right?
Yeah. Good job on us.
How did the Islanders lose this? Is it just because Tavares was totally opposite of the first round? I think that's pretty much it, in my opinion.
Yeah, 1 goal, 1 assist. That's not good enough for Captain Clutch 2.0.
He was big time in the first round.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think he was the MVP of the first round.
But that's the thing, like he scored in big spots, but like the Islanders had no reason to be at all expecting to win any games or series because they won 4 overtime games against the Panthers to win the series.
All their games were overtime.
Yeah.
They worked their butts off.
Yeah.
And in the second round, it was pretty much the opposite. They didn't work their butts as much off after that game 1. They kind of fell off, and it starts off with your captain and your leader.
Yeah.
He wasn't there, and the rest of the team did not play that 150% like they were in the first round.
Yeah, like Thomas Greiss played decent, but compared to the first round, he played lights out in the first round, and then he cooled off in the second round. But when your team only scores 2 goals a game, that's not good enough. Like, they need to put the puck in the net.
So, would you say vice versa? The guy who was drafted right after John Tavares that same year was the MVP of that series, of that second round?
He could have been. He was everywhere on the ice. Victor Hedman has just turned up his game big time.
Everybody said when he was drafted he's going to be kind of like a Chris Pronger. And he pretty much is. He's not vicious with hits, but he reads the play really well for a big guy, and he's everywhere.
Except for when he knocked out Sidney Crosby long term. Helped knock out Sidney Crosby long term. Never forget it. Victor Hedman, you're on my...
That was a while ago, eh?
Angry list, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
Still,
but I think he was the main piece of that puzzle that really won that second round for them against the Islanders.
Yeah, Ben Bishop was a beast, too.
Oh, yeah.
939 save percent in the playoffs is pretty awesome.
All right, second matchup, Pittsburgh versus Washington. I had to go, and you know what? I'm going to say it. I did have a feeling Pittsburgh would win that series the way they've been playing last month and a half.
Yeah.
But I was going with my gut from the beginning of the season with the Capitals to win the whole thing. So you were right. You said Pittsburgh in 6, I believe. I had Caps in 7. And it was close with that comeback. You could see it almost on Kessel's face. It's man. He remembers some moment of being ahead 3-0 by 3 goals.
And all the Leafs fans were all excited and like, ha, ha, ha,
No, I was not. I'm one of those Leaf fans that I'm a fan of Phil Kessel. Actually, going to that, did you read the new Players Tribune article?
No, I did not.
Oh, you got to check it out. Check it out, folks. I think it's Rupper and Whitney, and they have a basic conversation talking about their preview. Go read it. It's hilarious. I think they were texting back and forth, and they basically put their texts as an article.
Huh.
And they say a lot of good things about Phil. He looks like a guy who just had his pregame meal. But he is so amazing on the ice, especially in big games, and it is shown in the playoffs. Is he what, the best forward maybe the Penguins have had this playoffs?
Yeah, because Crosby and Malkin have gone quiet.
Yeah.
Which is great that we're winning series without Crosby and Malkin being at the peak of their games. So, yeah, Kessel definitely is. He put the team on his back that last game, Game 6. So
he's huge. But the real MVP, who would you put it on? Is it maybe Murray or is it
Murray.
Letang?
I would say Murray. Murray's been outstanding for us.
I think Murray is there because of not having Fleury. You wouldn't expect a rookie to be this damn good at his age.
Yeah. Well, even like Ovechkin after the series was over said that like it wasn't the Pens were better than us. It was Matt Murray was better than us.
So what does that say about Holtby?
That he got outplayed. Which is crazy because he's probably going to win the Vezina.
Yeah, he's going to win the Vezina.
But that's what happens in playoffs. Once a hot goalie gets hot, you ride him out, and hopefully he can win 16 games.
We'll talk about this later when we get to the third round. But is Murray not as hot right now? All right, we'll leave that till next. But yeah, the Caps lost. Is it only because Murray was that good? Is there other reasons?
They couldn't get the puck in the net. Like Ovechkin was held to 2 goals, I think. Yeah, 2 goals.
TJ Oshie was their best player.
Yeah.
He can't be your best player when you have Ovechkin, Backstrom, and where is Kuznetsov?
Yeah, he went cold.
Totally invisible.
Yeah.
Even on the power play. He was playing power play minutes, and he wasn't getting any points. It gets more second power play, so... Still, he's got to put up points for them, and I think that was their big downfall. Not enough goal scoring, and Murray's one reason, but also they still got to find ways. They still got to find ways, and they did not.
Yeah, because Holtby's numbers were .923 save percentage, 257 goals against.
He was good. He was good.
Yeah.
He wasn't insanely amazing.
Yeah, he wasn't Holtby,
but he was good.
Regular season Holtby, but...
Yeah. All right, Nashville versus San Jose. In my opinion, the series wasn't that exciting.
No.
But the Predators did take the Sharks to the limit. They fell apart in the end, but they did take them to Game 7. We didn't have that. We both had Sharks in like 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah, how crazy was that? Both Game 7s were just blowouts. Just a waste of time to watch.
Yeah, that one,
That's
the other one, Dallas one.
Yeah. It's disappointing.
Yeah, I guess everybody's disappointed. That happens like half the time, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Where the Game 7 they're just flop games.
Yeah.
It happens very often. So I'm wondering why people are so mad or surprised at that fact.
Well, I think it's just the second round, and the second round's usually the best hockey. Like, the first round's the best to watch because there's so much hockey, but the second round's the better teams.
Yeah.
But you could just see that the better teams dominated. So they were putting a stamp on their series winning Game 7s emphatically. So
how good is Logan Couture? I think it kind of helps sometimes when you miss a lot of games during the season and you're very fresh.
Oh yeah, if you miss
the later half in the playoffs.
Yeah, if you miss the first couple months or couple weeks, you're definitely fresher than the rest of the guys. Like if you miss the last half of the season missed time, that's a little harder to be ready for playoffs. But
he tuned it up in that series.
Oh yeah,
he was dominant.
Their power play is ridiculous, and it makes sense because the 5 guys on the ice: Burns, Thornton, Pavelski, Marleau, Couture. They've been playing together for like 5 years. Their chemistry is just unreal.
And it's so crazy to think that this team might not have been in the offseason with all the turmoil.
Yeah. Thanks to Pete DeBoer putting it together.
Bringing that together and Thornton staying with his team. He's like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
You can leave. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, and like Martin Jones is doing his job.
Yeah.
He's not winning games for them. He's just doing his job.
Oh, he's still really solid.
He's just not stealing games.
Yeah, well, when you're playing against a guy like Pekka Rinne, who is basically that damn good and stealing some games.
Yeah, but I put in my notes, Rinne he isn't in the elite conversation anymore.
He's not, but he was in this playoffs.
Yeah.
This playoffs, he looked really, really, really like old school Rinne.
Yeah, but the games he lost, he looks shaky. It's just.
But I think that has a lot to do with his team not being good enough against that Sharks offense.
Yeah.
Yoshi, Weber, I think they all had injuries too. They were all playing with injuries.
So
they were really banged up by the end of that.
So, do you think Renee's still a top 10 goalie?
In the NHL, no.
No?
But in this, specifically this playoff, in my opinion, he's top 6.
Yeah.
Maybe even higher. And specifically just for this playoffs, yeah.
You know what really hurt Nashville? Philip Forsberg.
Yeah.
Where was he? Not even on the score sheet.
I think they kept him in check, though.
Yeah, he's the leading scorer the past 2 years for the Predators. And he just disappeared.
He's very, he catches on fire.
Oh, yeah.
For a short period of time, and he collects a lot of his goals and scoring, like he did that one time. I think it was, double hat-trick or whatever?
Yeah, 2 hat-tricks, yeah,
so
back-to-back.
He's that kind of guy where he's super streaky, and he just didn't catch on fire in the playoffs. And they covered him. They covered him very well, I thought, the Sharks.
Yeah.
They're a very good offensive team, but they can still shut it down when it needs to.
Yeah, Vlasic is just a monster.
I love Pickles.
Yeah.
So underrated.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to the other series. The Stars, the Blues. It was a great series. It was a really good series.
Yeah.
Now, if the Stars had Tyler Seguin, would they have blown away the Blues?
I think they would have tipped the scale their way.
I still think the Blues might have found a way.
The
way they have played this postseason, they're finding ways. They're shutting down top players like they did versus the Hawks, and they did a pretty good job against Ben and some of their superstars in that series.
Yeah, I don't know. Ben and Seguin have so much chemistry. They're so good together.
It's so tough to tell because it would have been totally different. But I don't know. The Blues are... This will be great. This next round will be great to see how well the Blues can cover a whole solid power play line of the Sharks. But
well, and they get penalized quite a bit, so...
Yeah. So we'll see, but... Is Elliott the only one of the main reasons why the Blues are going this far?
Yeah, maybe, but I think Jake Allen could do the job too.
Yeah,
they have 2 pretty good goalies. It's just Elliott's hot right now, so you stick with the hot goalie. But the Blues had 7 guys with 6 points or more in the series. That's just great depth. Backus 8, Brouwer 8, Fabry 8, Stastny 7, Tarasenko 7. Berglund 6, Shattenkirk 6, that's depth.
Yeah, and that's the Blues hockey though.
Yeah,
they've always had those 2A guys that can score. They can all put up 20 goals or more, and play good in their own end.
Yeah, and they don't have a first, second, third. They have an A, B, C lineup. It's crazy.
They share the time, everything.
Yeah.
They're a great team.
Yeah,
but I'm really surprised with Backus. I did not see this next gear, this next level out of him.
Not at all.
And he's pretty much could be the MVP of this team so far.
Yeah.
So he's dominant and he's scoring the big goals, and that's what you need and that's what you want out of a leader, and he's doing that.
And Dallas has got to figure out their goaltending.
Oh yeah,
their tandem worked in the regular season, does not work in the playoffs.
But did you hear Lindy Ruff said they're the reason why we're here?
Yeah, because in the regular season they played well. They were able to go back and forth like they were doing in the playoffs. But in the playoffs, you can't have the goalie looking over his shoulder and being when am I getting pulled?
Yeah.
Or was that the goal I'm getting pulled on? Right?
I still don't think they were that amazing during the season either. But
they just did their job.
Yeah,
but
you need better goaltending than in the playoffs. 100%.
They're spending $10 million in goaltending in the next 2.5 years, 2 years.
So you think they're maybe going to buy one of them out, or
I don't know. They got to do something, or hope that one of them gets hot. Niemi can get hot. He's done it before, but I don't know. They gotta work on their back end. Their defensive core is. There are a lot of guys up for UFA.
And the funny thing is, Demers, their only really good defensive defenseman, is a UFA.
Yeah. Goligoski's a UFA. Chris Russell's a UFA. Jordy Ben's a UFA. There's 4 of your 6.
Well, I think maybe Alexiak is ready. He's a huge kid.
Yeah.
So if he's ready...
Well, Stephen Johns looked really good, too.
And Johns was pretty good, too, yeah. But I think they need to keep a guy like Demers there. They're lacking that defenseman, really, in my opinion. They need to... And they need to play more of the defensive game. They need to at least find that type of game when they need it.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Like we said, they were just trying to outscore teams.
And that's not how you win in the playoffs.
No.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And that's why we both had Blues, right?
I had the Stars.
Oh,
but
you
that's
picked the Stars.
Yeah, I went with my gut from the very beginning of the bracket. I had the Stars going to the Western Conference Final. So
I had to go with Blues. Just, their defense is too strong.
Yeah, so we both went 1-3.
Yep. So
Not bad.
Let's preview the third round.
Or 3-1, sorry. 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh versus Tampa Bay. First off, let's kill the elephant in the room. Seriously, how is Callahan not getting suspended?
Yeah. It was just a brutal hit. Just brutal. I was not impressed watching the game last night.
I can't understand it. I'm not a fan of Letang when he does some weird, odd things. In my opinion, he has been lately. But this is despicable, in my opinion.
Okay, I got the real elephant in the room on this series. This is the last time we're allowed to use this word, but this series is going to be fast.
Fast?
The series is going to be fast. So you hear Healy last night? The second round, Pittsburgh, Washington was tank warfare. This is F-16s. Every single time he talked, he had a reference to fast or speedy. Did you see the intro that CBC put on?
Mm-mm.
They had race cars, and then highlights of hockey games, and like NASCAR, and then to Formula One, and then to IndyCar.
It was just too much.
It was brutal. It was so overplayed, and that's all they talked about was how fast, how big a transition. Yes, these two teams are probably the fastest teams in hockey, all-around speed, but let's get over it. Let's get back to hockey and stop talking about F-16s.
But the Pens didn't look fast in that first game.
No.
They looked
coming off an emotional
sluggish.
high. That was a huge Game 6 for them.
Yeah, it was big overtime, big win. They needed it.
Yeah. Big comeback that they overcame.
And if they lost that one, though, that would have been
Game 7 would have been Game 7 would have been tough for them.
So, yeah, it's just one game, folks.
But the series is going to start getting dirty.
I guess
by the first game,
I guess so. If you're not going to suspend Callahan for that hit, did you hear what even Callahan said after the game? He's like, Letang turns at the last second.
Brutal.
He's like,
what did he
his
expect
head
him to
and
do?
body is pretty low.
What do you expect him to do?
I'm trying to pin him, and in the split second, I can't really make a decision. What are you talking about, buddy?
Brutal.
I don't know. Anyways, you know what I like about the NHL? I've told you this before. You're allowed to hold the guy on the boards. You're allowed to. Nobody wants to do it, though, especially now in the playoffs, and you want to get the guy a little bit. You want to give it to the guy a bit.
Yeah.
But they're allowed to do this, and Letang was in a very vulnerable position. Yes, he did spin and turn to get the puck, but what else are you going to expect the guy to do when the puck's in the corner? But you're allowed to clutch, hold, grab the guy into the boards. They're not going to call a holding penalty if you do that for 2 seconds. So anyways, that was horrible. I think Callahan should have got 3 games, in my opinion. So apparently he's not going to get anything.
They didn't even talk to him.
And then the Kunitz thing was a little tricky, but it did look like he might have stuck out the knee. I don't think it was intentional. Not at all.
Well,
but it's tricky to see when you look at the hit.
He did spread his legs.
Yeah, and that's not good
to clip him. So
yep,
he could have got
a game in my opinion.
A game, or a fine, or at least talked to
And then the
Palat
hit at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I totally think he didn't want to really do anything bad, but the player was in an awkward position.
And the extra nudge.
That extra push.
Yeah.
Right in, put him in awkward. So I hope Dumoulin is healthy too.
If this series does get dirty and rough, I think it favors Tampa Bay. Pittsburgh they don't. There's no tough guys.
They've shown in the past when they get into that dirty type game, especially with the Flyers in the past.
Yeah.
See, they didn't get into that dirty game type game in the first round.
Yeah.
With the Rangers or anything.
Yeah.
And look, and everything's going fine. But once they get into that, especially the history.
Oh, and Boyle's already under Crosby's skin.
Yeah.
Like that face-off body check. He didn't even go for the puck. He just drilled Boyle.
Yeah.
And obviously knocked him down because Boyle's not expecting Crosby to come with a shoulder.
Off the face-off and all that, yeah.
But then he's hacking at guys' ankles and while they skate by, and that's not Crosby's game.
Yeah. And when Crosby does that, that totally throws him off his game.
Yeah.
He really needs to get his head straight and focus on what's on the line. So what do you have this series? You're having Pens in 6, I guess?
Pittsburgh in 6.
Yep. And I'm the same. Even though they lost the first game.
Wow.
I'm still going with the Pens as well in 6.
So offensive edge, Pittsburgh or Tampa Bay? Who's got the offensive edge?
Pittsburgh.
Okay. Defensive edge.
That's a tough one, but I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning on this.
Okay. I'm going with Pitt. Goaltending edge.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on this one.
Before the Bishop injury. If Bishop comes back.
With the Bishop, if Bishop comes back, I was still giving slight edge the way Murray was playing in those first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I had Tampa Bay. Bishop was just playing unreal. But this injury, I saw the injury and I was like, man, I hate seeing top guys go down.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's just...
That's just nasty.
Even if it is an opponent, it's just not fun to watch. And getting stretchered off, hopefully he can make it back in the series.
When's the last time you've seen a goalie stretchered off?
Yeah,
It looked bad.
Yeah.
And apparently the x-rays are negative, which is good. But I don't know. I can't see Bishop coming in at least in the next game or 2.
So who are the team MVPs as of right now? Who's in the Conn Smythe running for...
In the running, so...
For Pitt.
I'm going to go with Letang so far.
Yeah?
In my opinion.
I'm going to say Murray. Murray's a Conn Smythe candidate.
Yeah. Do you think... Are you saying so far or now for the future?
I think as of right now, if the Conn Smythe was to be handed out.
Yeah. I would same here. I'm going to go with a slight edge for Letang over Murray so far.
Yeah.
But as it goes, I'm still going to go with Letang.
All right. Tampa Bay.
For Tampa Bay, I'm going to go with the same thing. I think their leader, Victor Hedman, leads by example. He's eating up those minutes. I think he took over that role over Bishop and even Kucherov, who was excellent in the first round, by being that number 1 guy.
Yeah, those are the 2 guys I have, Bishop and Kucherov. But with Bishop injury, if he doesn't come back, it's Kucherov or Hedman.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, my number 1, Hedman.
Yeah.
He's great.
I got Kucherov. It's my number 1.
All right. And on the West, we've got St. Louis versus San Jose.
I'm up in the air on this one. I really don't know.
Toss-up for you, eh?
Yeah.
I'm still going to go with Blues. I think defense wins games.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Blues. Always have been. I'm glad that they've, finally beat the Hawks and they're going deep. I don't know. I still feel the Blues can take out the Sharks. It's going to be close.
If the Blues stay out of the box, they very well could.
I think it more hinges on Elliott, in my opinion, on goaltending for them. The way he's been playing all playoffs, he just has to continue doing the unstoppable things that he's doing.
The Blues have been on the penalty kill 39 times. That's 5th most in the playoffs.
And it's very weird because Backes made his first penalty a few games ago for the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's not him.
No. And their PK is under 80%, which is not a good number. So if that stays that way, if that trend continues, then San Jose's power play is going to just eat them up.
Hey, you're comparing these stats when the Blues have taken out the Hawks and the offensive stars. So
That's fine. Both their power plays were not humming the way the Sharks are.
So
And they have Joe Pavelski.
oh yeah, that cat. The cat is gonna.
It's Pavelski versus Roar Bacon.
It sure is. I don't know. I'm guessing he's not there anymore.
You don't think the pig's still around?
I don't know.
It might stink a bit.
Maybe that's why Bacchus is playing so well.
Maybe.
He's had some extra pork in his meal in his diet.
All right, so offensive edge goes to
Sharks.
Agreed.
Sharks have the offensive
Agreed.
edge.
Defensive edge.
Defensive is Blues.
Agree.
And goaltending is Blues.
Agree.
So yeah.
Even though Burns is a beast.
But again, in my opinion, Burns is an offensive defenseman. So he's more leaning on why the Sharks.
He's got the same defensive move. 2-on-1, he slides and just completely sells out.
He is outstanding. I still can't believe the angles.
Yeah, he shoots from everywhere, man.
He's breaking ankles.
Yep.
He is outstanding.
So, who you got? St. Louis?
For MVPs.
Well, for prediction.
Oh, well, prediction, yeah, I said
Blues in 6?
Blues in 6, yeah.
All right, I got Sharks in 6.
So, there we go.
MVP?
MVP for the Sharks. They're all playing really, really well. But this one's a real toss-up for MVP for me. Because that all of them are played outstanding. I'm going to go with Burns. Just because, again, he's doing very well defensively as well.
Yeah.
He's not lacking in his defensive end. But his offensive numbers as well are outstanding.
Yeah, I'm going with Captain America, Joe Pavelski.
Yeah.
He scored some clutch goals.
You cannot
some
go
really
wrong.
Important goals.
You cannot go wrong with Pavelski, Couture, or Burns, in my opinion.
And the fact that this is pretty close to the same team they've had past couple of years.
Yeah.
And he's finally captaining them to the Western Conference. So, good job, Joe.
Little Joe.
Little Joe. And St. Louis. Who do you got?
St. Louis. I have to go with Bacchus. The way he's played.
Yeah, I got Bacchus or Elliott.
Yeah, but Elliott's would be my second pick.
Yeah,
but I have to go with Bacchus. He has been. I didn't expect this for sure.
Yeah,
I would have taken if I had known Bacchus would have been this good. I would have taken him for sure in my hockey pools. I'm kind of upset because our buddy Cheeseman took Tarasenko in the second round. I was like, all right, I'll take Tarasenko a little later. Just because I like St. Louis. I've picked St. Louis every single year, the last 4 years. One or two guys every year because I like St. Louis, and I always think, okay, if they just get by the Hawks, they'll go far.
Yeah, I think that was scared a lot of people out of their playoff pools not picking the Blues.
Yeah,
and playing the Hawks first round.
I would have taken Tarasenko at least fifth round, and if I knew Bacchus was going to be this good, I would have also taken him right after.
Yeah,
but he's MVP for sure.
But and if they go, you would have never have suspected this.
Yeah, he has not produced even more than half a point per game in his whole playoff career.
Yeah,
every playoff.
Yeah, he's turning up.
And TJ Oshie was another factor for them, and that's why they traded him. And he played outstanding on the Capitals, but then his team lost, and his old team that he was playing on his whole career is in the third round now.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Troy Brouwer, new Game 7, Mr. Game 7.
He took over for Oshie, and he's been scoring those big goals. He scored again last game, So.
Yeah, Troy Brouwer's having a good playoff.
All right, well, we'll talk more about those series next episode. And we'll finish up with, Paul, what do you got for us for a Jablam Junior Hockey Playoff Update?
Oh, man. Hockey's over for juniors. We only have the Memorial Cup to look forward to.
But did you see who won the MVP in the OHL?
Yes, I saw who won the MVP.
Mitch Marner. Woohoo! What a stud!
Yeah, good on him. Good for him.
So we've got the London Knights.
The London Knights
we've
swept.
Got the host.
Red Deer Rebels.
We've got the Brandon Wheat Kings.
Coming out of the dub, Brandon Wheat Kings.
And in the queue we got
Ruin Noranda Huskies, led by Francis Perrin and Timo Meyer.
Oh yeah, and
Chase Marchand, best goalie in the.
And they got a really good kid. What was it? What's his name? Zaraskins? Is that where Zaraskins plays?
Who?
He's a third-round pick for the Leafs. Pretty good on the
Zaraskins?
Yeah. I can't pronounce his name probably. I'm probably saying it wrong.
Probably.
But what do you got for your predictions, Paul, since you follow them pretty well?
All right, so I don't think Red Deer stands a chance in this tournament. These three teams are probably three of the best offensively gifted but also well-balanced teams. Mm-hmm. And they also have really, really good goaltending. Like Tyler Persons, Paperny, and Chase Marchand are all excellent goalies. Red Deer is not going to win a game in their barn.
Yeah.
I'm going with that. And then Ruin Noranda will win it over London Knights, is my prediction. May 19th, it all begins for 10 days in Red Deer, Alberta. Every game is on Sportsnet in Canada and NHL Network in the U.S.
Nice.
It's going to be enjoyable. I'm gonna make sure I watch those, PVR them if I can't watch them. I will watch NHL over Junior.
I'm totally saying his name wrong, but his name is Martin
Zirkles. Yeah, Zirkles. Not Skrastens.
Zrassels.
Yeah,
I was mixing
Zirkles.
with Carl Zraskins.
Zirkles had a good last game.
Yeah, and
so.
I think he led rookies in points in the whole playoff.
In playoffs, yeah,
yep.
That could
so
be it. Yeah,
he's doing really well. And third round picks, I think, last year for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
So Leafs got a couple of kids in this.
So that starts May 19th. Yeah, really good draft prospects. Matthew Tkachuk. Can he try and get number 4?
Yeah.
He'll be enjoyable. Brandon Wheat Kings have Jace Howerluck that scored recorded 6 points in the last game. So, but the London Knights haven't lost. They've won 13 straight.
They're
going into
ridiculous
the Mem Cup. So
they had that top line had over 110 points.
Yeah,
in just the playoffs.
Yeah,
in 18 games or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah,
wow.
They're good, and Tyler Parsons can stop a timely puck, so it's going to be good. But I still got the Huskies over the Knights. So
wow, the Huskies over the Knights.
Yep.
All right, well that's it for this episode. See y'all next week.
Bye.